These are unprecedented scenes along Gaza's border with Israel. It's the biggest protest since the tiny strip was sealed off after Hamas took power over 10 years ago. The Israeli army has been widely criticized for using excessive force, a charge it rejects.
The orders were strict. I mean, nobody should cross the fence. But I think there was restraint there. High officers were on the ground all the time, so it wasn't just a whim of a private, you know.
The UN and the EU have condemned Israel's excessive use of force. 18 people were killed, over 800 injured by live fire, according to Palestinian officials. Israel says it only targeted those trying to breach the border fence, and it claims members of groups it deems terrorist organizations infiltrated the protest. But human rights organizations say the evidence shows otherwise.
What we have seen is a great number of people standing at a distance from the fence inside the Gaza Strip, and force, live ammunition, was used against them. In such circumstances, the use of lethal force is the last course of action, only in circumstances when there's a risk for life.
The Israeli human rights group B'Tselem says live ammunition is being used as a crowd control measure.
I invite everyone, just watch the footage and ask yourself, is this reasonable that the Israeli army, backed by a policy from the Prime Minister down, to use such force in such fashion and with such result?
The army claims it did use restraint last Friday and says it will respond more forcefully to anyone trying to breach the separation fence again. We're told the rules of engagement are not likely to change.
As you know, there's a strong support for the military and also for the government at this point. Outside pressure can play a role, but it's not strong enough.
Israel is used to engaging in conflict with armed factions in Gaza, and its missile defense system, the Iron Dome, intercepting rocket fire. But not a single rocket has been fired out of the strip since this protest began. Israel is now dealing with the consequences of a decades-old policy of blockading Gaza, where 2 million people are squeezed into a tiny strip of land. Palestinians say they are desperate for freedom. Military force may not be able to silence them. Stefanie, Dekker, Al Jazeera, West Jerusalem.